Imagine this: what if you could wake up every day with a sense of purpose, knowing exactly who you are and where you're going? Imagine making choices from a place of confidence, clarity, and strength. Do you know why most people don't achieve their true potential? It's because they're distracted by the noise around them, the pressures from others, the expectations of society, and the daily grind. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking your greatest potential lies in one simple truth? Focus on yourself every single day. Today, I want to challenge you to take ownership of your life like never before. I'm talking about building the mental discipline to commit to your own growth, not tomorrow, not next week, but every day. Stay with me, and by the end of this speech, you'll understand how focusing on yourself daily can be your greatest weapon in creating the life you truly want. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth. It's the essential first step to understanding who you are, what you truly want, and how to navigate the path toward your goals. Without self-awareness, you are essentially drifting, reacting to the world around you instead of consciously creating the life you desire. Imagine trying to build a house without knowing the blueprint. It sounds impossible, right? You would end up with something that doesn't serve your needs and might even fall apart over time. This is what happens when you don't take the time to develop self-awareness. You live a life influenced by external pressures, by others' expectations, and by the world's noise. But real success, fulfillment, and growth come from understanding your own blueprint, who you are at your core, and what you want to create in this world. Self-awareness means understanding your thoughts, emotions, values, strengths, and weaknesses. It's about asking yourself the tough questions like, what drives me? What are my true passions? What are my values? What do I want from life? And why this deep introspection can be uncomfortable at times, but it is also incredibly powerful. When you are in tune with yourself, you are no longer just reacting to life. Instead, you are living with purpose and intention, making choices that align with your authentic self. The process of becoming more self-aware starts with getting quiet, turning off the noise, and creating space for reflection. It's easy to be distracted by the demands of everyday life, by work, by relationships, by social media, and by the constant barrage of information. However, if you want to make real progress and create lasting change, you need to learn how to step back and listen to yourself. This doesn't necessarily mean long hours of meditation or deep spiritual practices, although those can help. It could be as simple as spending 5 minutes every morning in silence before you start your day, or journaling your thoughts in the evening to reflect on what happened during the day. The key is consistency. Self-awareness isn't a one-time thing. It's a practice that evolves over time. As you spend more time focusing inward, you'll start to notice patterns in your thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. You'll understand what triggers you, what motivates you, and what drains your energy. Armed with this knowledge, you'll be better equipped to make decisions that serve your long-term happiness and success. Self-awareness also means accepting who you are, flaws and all. Too often, people avoid confronting their weaknesses or struggles because they feel ashamed or fear judgment. But true self-awareness is about embracing all parts of yourself, acknowledging where you need to grow, and giving yourself permission to be imperfect. When you stop resisting who you are, you can begin the process of transforming into the best version of yourself. Another key benefit of self-awareness is that it allows you to set clear, aligned goals. When you know who you are, what you truly want, and why it matters, you can make choices that move you in the direction of those goals. This is the difference between setting goals based on societal pressure or comparison and setting goals based on your own values and passions. When you focus on what is truly important to you, your goals are more meaningful, and the motivation to achieve them becomes stronger. Ultimately, self-awareness is the compass that guides you toward a life of authenticity, fulfillment, and success. It's the foundation that allows you to focus on yourself every day, because without it, it's impossible to know what you need or where you're headed. When you prioritize self-awareness, you're not just focusing on your actions or outcomes, you're understanding the essence of who you are and building a life around that truth. The power of daily discipline cannot be overstated. It is, in fact, one of the most transformative practices you can adopt if you want to see meaningful, lasting change in your life. In a world that thrives on instant gratification and quick fixes, many people underestimate the value of consistent, incremental efforts. But the truth is that small daily actions compound over time, creating massive results. Discipline, when practiced daily, is the key to unlocking your potential and achieving the life you desire. Consider this: most people will start a new habit or set a goal with great enthusiasm. Whether it's exercising, writing a book, or learning a new skill, they start strong. But as time goes on, the initial motivation wanes. Distractions pile up, and the journey becomes harder. This is where daily discipline comes in. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike, it's about making a commitment to show up every single day, no matter how you feel. It's about building a routine that doesn't rely on inspiration, but on the firm belief that every small step you take brings you closer to your goal. The beauty of daily discipline lies in its consistency. Think about your current routine. Every day, you engage in certain habits, whether you realize it or not. These habits might be positive, like brushing your teeth or going to work, or they might be negative, like procrastinating or scrolling mindlessly on your phone. The habits you form today will determine the life you create tomorrow. If you're committed to focusing on yourself every day, you need to be intentional about the habits you build. Every decision you make, every action you take reinforces either progress or stagnation. Imagine that you dedicate just 30 minutes every day to something that brings you closer to your goal, whether it's reading, practicing a skill, meditating, or exercising. Over time, those 30 minutes add up. In 1 year, that's nearly 190 hours invested in your growth. That's 190 hours where you made deliberate choices to improve yourself. And when you think about it, that's time you would have spent scrolling through social media, watching TV, or being distracted by the noise of the world. But with focused effort, those hours will add up to real progress. What makes daily discipline so powerful is the momentum it creates. At first, it might feel like you're not making much progress. But as you continue, your efforts begin to compound, and what once felt like a struggle becomes second nature. You'll find that what was once difficult now feels easier, and the results begin to speak for themselves. Discipline gives you the ability to push through when things get tough. It's in those moments when you don't feel like working out, writing, or studying that daily discipline makes all the difference. It's the ability to show up even when you're tired, when the excitement is worn off, and when the path seems long and difficult. But this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about being perfect every day, but about continuing to show up and do the work consistently. Some days you might fall short, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep coming back. Over time, your daily discipline will create a life that's aligned with your values and aspirations. In fact, the most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the most talented or gifted. They are the ones who commit to their goals day in and day out. They know that success isn't a big, dramatic moment, but a series of small, deliberate actions over time. They've learned that focusing on themselves every day through disciplined actions builds a strong foundation for their dreams to become reality. And you have the same ability. It's all about showing up for yourself every day, even when it's hard. Because in the end, it's not about waiting for the perfect moment, it's about making the most of every moment you have. Self-reflection is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth. It's about taking a step back to observe your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and choices. Too often, we go through life on autopilot, reacting to circumstances without truly understanding the impact of our actions. Self-reflection allows us to examine our lives with clarity, helping us identify where we are succeeding, where we need improvement, and how we can continue moving forward with purpose. When you engage in self-reflection, you're essentially asking yourself the important questions that most people avoid. Questions like, am I on the right track? What do I want to achieve? And why? What did I learn today? These questions help you get out of the habitual cycle of just going through the motions and instead prompt you to take an honest look at your life. The process isn't about judging yourself harshly, but about understanding and learning from your experiences. Reflection gives you the ability to see your blind spots, recognize patterns in your behavior, and make adjustments where necessary. For example, have you ever had a day where things didn't go as planned? Maybe you had a difficult interaction with someone, or you didn't accomplish what you intended. Instead of just brushing it off, self-reflection encourages you to pause and assess what went wrong, why it happened, and how you can handle it differently next time. This practice doesn't just apply to mistakes or failures, it also works for successes. Reflecting on what went right helps you understand the behaviors and choices that led to positive outcomes so you can replicate them in the future. Self-reflection also helps you stay aligned with your values and goals. In the hustle of daily life, it's easy to get distracted by external demands or lose sight of what's truly important to you. Taking time to reflect gives you the opportunity to check in with yourself and ensure you're still moving toward your true desires. It's a way of ensuring that the actions you're taking are consistent with your deepest values and long-term objectives. Without this, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of everyday responsibilities and forget why you started on this path in the first place. One of the most significant aspects of self-reflection is that it provides clarity. Often we get caught in a cycle of overthinking or feeling stuck because we lack a clear direction. Reflection, however, helps clear away the mental fog and allows us to view our situation with fresh eyes. By taking the time to reflect on your progress, you can pinpoint areas where you might be holding yourself back or failing to take full advantage of opportunities. It helps you prioritize what matters most, making it easier to focus your energy and resources in the right places. Moreover, self-reflection is not just a passive activity. It's a proactive tool that can inspire change. When you reflect on your actions, your motivations, and the outcomes, you can decide what needs to shift to improve your life. Maybe it's a mindset change. Perhaps it's learning to say no to distractions, or maybe it's choosing to focus on a specific goal. Reflection helps you design your path forward with intention and purpose. It allows you to be honest with yourself about what you truly want and whether your current actions align with that vision. As you engage in self-reflection, it's important to be patient with yourself. Real growth doesn't happen overnight. Reflection is a continuous process, not a one-time activity. You may not always have clear answers right away, but with regular practice, you will develop the insight necessary to make smarter, more informed decisions. And over time, you'll start to see the fruits of this process as your life begins to align more closely with your true desires and values. The power of self-reflection lies in its ability to help you grow in a purposeful and deliberate way. It's the difference between being swept along by the current of life and taking control of your own journey. Every day offers an opportunity to reflect, recalibrate, and move forward with greater clarity and intention. Mindset shifts are the cornerstone of achieving personal transformation. Our mindset determines how we approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. It shapes the lens through which we view the world and ultimately dictates the actions we take. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often lies in their ability to shift their mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. In order to focus on yourself and become the best version of yourself, you must cultivate a mindset that empowers you rather than restricts you. At the core of this shift is the understanding that your beliefs about yourself and the world around you are not fixed, they are malleable. What you believe is possible for you can change. And when you challenge the beliefs that have been holding you back, you open up the potential for greatness. Too often, people fall into the trap of thinking that their current circumstances or past failures define their future. They might think, I've always been bad with money, or I'm just not the type of person who can be successful. These beliefs create a mental ceiling that limits their progress. But when you consciously choose to shift your mindset, you unlock a whole new set of possibilities. The key to making this shift is recognizing that challenges are not barriers, but opportunities for growth. When you start viewing obstacles as stepping stones rather than roadblocks, you begin to change your entire approach to life. It's not about avoiding discomfort or difficult situations, it's about embracing them as part of the process. The most successful people don't see failure as something to fear, they see it as a necessary part of the journey. They understand that every mistake, every misstep is an opportunity to learn and improve. The shift from a fixed mindset, where you believe your abilities are limited, to a growth mindset, where you believe you can develop and improve through effort, is transformational. This shift in mindset also involves letting go of the need for external validation. When you focus on yourself and prioritize your personal growth, you stop seeking approval from others. Instead, you start to measure your success based on your own standards. This is incredibly empowering. When you stop comparing yourself to others and start defining success in your own terms, you are free to pursue what truly matters to you without being bogged down by the opinions or expectations of others. Another crucial aspect of mindset shifts is reframing negative thoughts. It's easy to fall into patterns of self-doubt or negativity, especially when things aren't going well. But when you learn to reframe these thoughts, when you change the narrative, you tell yourself you can start to see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger. For example, instead of thinking, "I failed," you can reframe it as, "I learned something valuable." This simple shift in thinking can have a profound impact on your ability to push through adversity and continue moving forward. To truly focus on yourself, you need to cultivate a mindset of resilience and self-belief. This mindset allows you to stay committed to your goals, even when faced with setbacks. It helps you maintain a sense of optimism and confidence, knowing that you have the ability to overcome challenges. It's about realizing that you are not defined by your past, but by your willingness to grow, adapt, and keep moving toward your vision. Shifting your mindset is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. It requires consistent effort and the willingness to challenge your own beliefs, thoughts, and behaviors. But the rewards are immeasurable. A positive, growth-oriented mindset will not only help you focus on yourself every day, but it will also create the space for you to achieve your full potential, break through your limitations, and design the life you've always dreamed of. Boundaries and prioritization are essential skills for focusing on yourself and living a life that aligns with your true desires. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions are constant and demands on our time are ever increasing, it can be incredibly difficult to protect your energy and stay focused on what truly matters. Without clear boundaries, you risk spreading yourself too thin, giving away your time and energy to everyone and everything around you. When you learn to set and enforce boundaries, you are essentially taking control of your life and ensuring that you have the mental and emotional space to prioritize your own growth and well-being. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others, they are about saying yes to yourself. By setting boundaries, you are choosing to safeguard your time, energy, and resources so that you can direct them toward the things that bring you closer to your goals and values. Whether it's saying no to a social invitation when you know you need time to rest, or turning down a work project that conflicts with your priorities, boundaries are a declaration of what is important to you and what isn't. The challenge for many people is the fear of disappointing others. We often feel compelled to say yes to every request, every opportunity, and every demand, even when it depletes us. But the truth is that constantly saying yes to others often leads to burnout, resentment, and a lack of focus on our own needs. Setting clear boundaries allows you to take control of your time and energy, making it possible to focus on yourself and your own goals. It's about recognizing that you cannot be everything to everyone and that you must prioritize yourself in order to show up as your best self for others. When you make the decision to focus on yourself, you must start by identifying where your energy is being drained and where your time is being wasted. This means looking at your commitments, relationships, and activities and evaluating which ones are aligned with your values and long-term goals, and which ones are simply distractions. Prioritization is about making tough choices and committing to doing what truly matters. It's about recognizing that not everything can have your attention, and that's okay. What matters is that you choose to invest your time and energy into the things that will move you toward your desired future. Prioritizing your own needs and goals doesn't mean neglecting others, it means being intentional about how you show up. For example, when you are clear on your boundaries and have prioritized your own well-being, you are in a better position to help others because you're not running on empty. The key is balance. While it's important to be there for others, it's equally important to be there for yourself. This balance allows you to nurture your personal growth while maintaining healthy, meaningful relationships with the people around you. One of the most powerful aspects of setting boundaries and prioritizing your time is that it provides you with clarity. When you are constantly reacting to the demands of others, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and lost. But when you set boundaries and prioritize what's truly important, you gain clarity about your direction. You are no longer pulled in 1,000 different directions. Instead, you can focus on your goals, your values, and your vision for the future. Boundaries and prioritization also give you the freedom to say yes to the things that will propel you forward in life. When you stop saying yes to everything, you free yourself to say yes to the opportunities that truly matter, whether that's spending time working on a personal project, dedicating time to your health, or simply resting so that you can recharge. In the end, boundaries and prioritization are about protecting your energy, focusing on what is most important, and making sure that your time is spent in ways that align with your authentic self. This practice ensures that you can continue to grow, evolve, and focus on yourself every day without getting lost in the distractions of life. Self-compassion is an essential part of focusing on yourself every day. Too often we are our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to unrealistic standards and punishing ourselves for every mistake or shortcoming. But true personal growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. And that starts with learning to treat yourself with kindness, understanding, and patience. Self-compassion allows you to accept where you are, acknowledge your struggles, and support yourself as you work toward your goals without falling into self-judgment or self-doubt. The first step to practicing self-compassion is recognizing that you are human. And being human means making mistakes. No one is immune to failure, setbacks, or disappointment. When we fall short of our expectations, it's easy to become discouraged, to focus on our flaws, and to believe that we are not enough. But this self-critical approach only keeps us stuck. It leads to feelings of shame, guilt, and frustration, which only hinder our growth. Instead, self-compassion encourages us to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a loved one who is going through a tough time. It's about acknowledging that mistakes are part of the process and that you can learn from them rather than letting them define you. When you practice self-compassion, you give yourself the space to be imperfect. And that is where true growth happens. You stop trying to be perfect and instead focus on doing your best. You start to see setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities for growth and learning. Every time you fall short, you have the chance to reflect on what went wrong, what you can do differently next time, and how you can continue moving forward with a positive mindset. This attitude creates a sense of resilience as you stop allowing setbacks to derail your progress and instead use them to strengthen your determination and commitment. Another crucial aspect of self-compassion is the ability to forgive yourself. Holding on to past mistakes or regrets only drains your energy and prevents you from moving forward. When you forgive yourself, you release the weight of guilt and shame, allowing yourself to start fresh. It's about acknowledging that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time, and now you have the opportunity to do better. Self-forgiveness is not about excusing mistakes, but about accepting that they are part of the journey and you are worthy of love and understanding regardless of your imperfections. Self-compassion also involves setting healthy boundaries with yourself. This means not overworking, not pushing yourself beyond your limits, and not subjecting yourself to unnecessary stress or self-criticism. When you treat yourself with compassion, you recognize the importance of taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. It's about prioritizing rest, relaxation, and self-care, and knowing that doing so is not selfish, but essential for maintaining your overall health and happiness. By caring for yourself in this way, you're able to show up as your best self, not only for others, but for yourself as well. One of the most profound effects of practicing self-compassion is the impact it has on your self-esteem. When you treat yourself with kindness, you build a foundation of self-worth that isn't dependent on external validation or success. You begin to recognize your intrinsic value, regardless of how much you accomplish or how others perceive you. This shift in mindset allows you to pursue your goals with confidence, knowing that you are enough, just as you are. With self-compassion, you no longer need to seek approval from others to feel worthy. You understand that your value comes from within. Finally, self-compassion allows you to embrace the journey of personal growth without the pressure of needing immediate results. Growth takes time, and it's easy to become frustrated when progress seems slow or when obstacles arise. But when you approach your growth with compassion, you understand that each step, no matter how small, is important. You give yourself the grace to move at your own pace, knowing that the journey itself is just as valuable as the destination. This mindset helps you stay focused, patient, and persistent as you work toward becoming the best version of yourself. In the end, self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same care, patience, and love that you would offer to anyone else. It is an essential part of focusing on yourself every day because it creates the emotional space you need to grow, learn, and evolve. When you practice self-compassion, you stop being your own biggest obstacle and start becoming your own greatest supporter. And with that support, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to.